What's up guys, Alex here, and today I want to give you just a little bit of background about my childhood growing up as an Asian American. I grew up in San Antonio, Texas, and being Asian there was just not easy. It was not easy. I want to tell you about that and some stories about, dating as an Asian guy, how we overcome certain stuff, but mostly just I just had a ton of insecurities. I was born in the US, but I actually moved with my family to China in 2005, and for 4 years I went to school in China, and then I came back to the US to San Antonio, Texas in 2009, and I was in 3rd grade. And I just remember going to school, and from one day to the next, all my friends were all Chinese, and then the next day they were all white. And at the time, as a 3rd grader, you don't really feel anything different or anything, but in middle school is when it really started hitting me. That's when I, started liking girls. That's when I started noticing that I'm not popular. That's when I was doing things like math UIL and piano, whereas other kids were playing piano and having girlfriends and stuff. That was when I started really feeling different and left out. I'm the only Asian kid, and I went to a middle school where there was just no Asians. I was maybe one Asian, and there was an Indian in my grade, and that was it. Everyone else was white or Hispanic. I felt super different. I really just and people made fun of me for chinky eyes, Jackie Chan, do you know karate, do my math homework, things like that, right? And especially that's when puberty was hitting, right? So that's when I started liking girls and not knowing how to express my feelings and stuff, and I saw their people having girlfriends and being in couples and making out at school and stuff. And I don't know how we learned this as kids, but very quickly you learn that okay, I'm not one of the cool kids, right? I'm just the nerdy kid. I had no clue. And I remember in 7th grade or 6th grade, I confessed to my crush at the time, the first girl who I thought would say yes to me, because there was other girls who were way more attractive, who I was yeah, they're way hotter, the cheerleaders, whatever, but I'm not gonna get with them, so I'm gonna ask this other girl out who sits next to me on the bus every day. And I was hey, I just wanted to tell you something, haha, I kind of like you, right? And she was and then the next day she came and told me yeah, my mom would kill me if I dated anyone right now. And just basically a nice soft rejection. But that was my first attempt at dating and showing a girl that I liked her, even though I wasn't even allowed to date. Actually, my parents told me that I wasn't allowed to date. I had to focus on school. So basically, it was just a very confusing time, being the only Asian kid. And then moving into high school, didn't know how to communicate with girls. I didn't know how to be cool. I hated my spiky hair. I had this really spiky hair and poofy hair that I couldn't tame, and I had no clue how to make it look good. I didn't know how to dress well and stuff, and I just remember feeling super insecure, feeling I'm Asian, I'm different, girls aren't gonna like me, I wasn't popular. Moving on to college, that's when I started getting kind of desperate. I had 3 crushes in college. My freshman year, I just didn't do any socializing. I just hunkered down and studied. And I was studying electrical engineering at the time, which I actually hated, but I was doing it because both my parents are electrical engineers, and just kind of the expectations and stuff like that. So I basically didn't party, I didn't do anything, I didn't know how to party, I didn't know how to socialize. My second year, I had a crush on this girl for an entire year who was in my class. At the end of the year, I came out to her and did the same thing. I just one time when we were studying together, I just hey, there's something really important I gotta tell you. I kind of like you, do you want to go out sometime or something, right? And she was I had been her friend for 9 months or something. This came out of nowhere. She was she could only let me down softly, basically. It's yeah, Alex, you're a great guy, I'm sure you'd be great for somebody else, but I'm not trying to date anyone right now, which is complete BS. Yeah, that's how that went. So that was my first crush. My second crush was in my sophomore year, or no, in my junior year. I did the same thing to a different girl. And my senior year, I actually I went on a study abroad to Scotland, and one of the girls that was on that trip with me, we were on a semester in Scotland. Yeah, I started having a crush on this girl, and I didn't even find her that attractive, to be honest. I literally actually didn't find her that attractive, but I justified and rationalized to myself in my brain that she was attractive because she was the only girl who kind of showed me some whatever. We would hang out, we would go to dance class together. She seemed to enjoy my company. right? And I was so desperate to just be with somebody. I remember so vividly, you know, being in my kitchen in that dorm and just feeling so lonely, especially in Scotland. It's like dark, cloudy. I didn't have too many friends, and she was the only person who I like hung out with kind of consistently. And I just imagined us like doing stuff together, like cooking together, taking a trip together, dancing together, doing all these like fancy romantic things together. And you know, I cooked up this grand plan to like ask her out too. I like planned in my head that I would take her on 3 dates after like spring break, because we were like on spring break. We like I went to somewhere and then came back, and then I was like, I'm gonna take her on 3 dates. So then the first one, I invited her to like have tea, the British tea at this one place, and we walked around and stuff, and I was trying to like hint to her that I liked her, trying to flirt. I had no clue how to do it. I had bought her a little gift, like a little painting that I got from my trip. The second date was like us playing piano together, and I invited her to like this one little hall in the school where they had a piano, and we like played together, and she like started kind of squirming a bit because I think she felt like something was up, like I was trying to make something happen or do something. And then at the end she like kind of made her escape, but like, you know, I could tell that it was getting weird and she was escaping me. So I kind of like stopped her and sat her down. I was like, hey, like there's something I gotta tell you. I really like you and I really want to be with you. And it was just so awkward. It was so awkward. She could only just kind of like half smile and just be like Alex, like, you know, that's great, you're awesome. And she was really sincere and really nice. She told me like, like you're really good at dancing and you're a really nice guy. And I forgot what exactly she said, but basically she was like, I'd rather just be friends. I don't want to ruin our friendship, kind of thing like that. And so I was basically perpetually in the friend zone all the way from middle school all the way through college. And every single girl that I confessed to, which was like 6 or 7, it all went the same way, of course, right? So I was like, this strategy's not working. And that's when I hit rock bottom. Literally that last month in Scotland, I couldn't study, I couldn't do anything, I couldn't think. My brain was just like a spiral, and I was just like depressed. I almost didn't even pass my classes. It was just a haze, like a dark cloud for like a whole month. And I went back to the US. Yeah, that's when I hit my rock bottom. And that's when I started searching on the internet, like how to get a girlfriend, how to talk to girls, how to flirt. Enter the entire world of like a bunch of different stuff, right? Dating advice and red pill and all this other stuff. Super fucking confusing. And I just remember being like, man, like I don't believe that I can succeed at this as an Asian guy, right? Because there was no role models. I didn't see anybody on TV or in movies who looked like me, who was getting the girl. There was no main actor who was Asian who was getting girls back then. Even now it's like pretty few, but it's been, you know, pretty good in the last few years, to be honest. And with the rise of like K-pop and like Shang-Chi and other stuff like that, right? Asian representation is getting a little bit better. But I just had nobody to look up to. I had nobody to look up to. It was just pure blind faith that I started applying the stuff that I saw on the internet. At some point, I started paying for mentors to help me. Even though they were white, I could still glimpse stuff from them that actually did help me. It was such a difficult journey, just because I didn't even know if it was possible. I didn't have an example, and so when you don't have an example of somebody who's done it before you, the only thing you can do is have blind faith, and that's really fucking hard. That's really fucking hard. So yeah, that's pretty much the story of, you know, how I moved to the US in 3rd grade and really had zero self-confidence, belief, or charm and charisma with women. Zero clue how to attract women. Like all of the fuel that took me down until I hit rock bottom, and then I went up. And it wasn't even like it was like slow, like kind of like yeah, up a little bit, down, up a little down. You know, it took me so much to not want to give up, but I just had this burning desire to not die alone. Like that's a lot of pain, yeah. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. Looking back, it's pretty crazy. It only feels like yesterday that I was like complaining to my roommate in college that like girls can't see me for who I am. I'm Asian. They're always gonna see me as an Asian first. Girls don't find me attractive. I could never find anybody who could relate. Anytime I would tell like a white friend, they'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, it's just, yeah, it's just dating. It's just, you know, don't think so much, right? Be yourself. You know, to come to the place where I finally understand how dating works, how women work, and to be able to help other Asian guys with this is extremely fulfilling. It feels like what I'm meant to do with my life, that my greatest struggle, my greatest pain has turned into my greatest gift, something that I'm able to give to other people on a daily basis. It's a beautiful thing. So yeah, that's basically a little bit of background about me, my upbringing, and how that affected who I am today, where I come to be. Hopefully you enjoyed the little story time from Uncle Alex today. Click that little red subscribe button if you liked it, if you want to get more videos with valuable tips, how you can actually implement and get dates as an Asian guy, find that long-term relationship, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.